Welcome to Fury of Dracula. In this horrifying hunting game, one player takes the role of the fearsome vampire Dracula, lurking in the night throughout Europe, taking victims and creating new vampires, by biting them. Meanwhile, the other players take the role of hunters, tracking and trapping Dracula, hoping to end his reign of terror. To set up, first, assign roles amongst the players. One is Dracula, the rest is hunters. Each hunter takes their character sheet, figure, and one reference card. Easy. In games with fewer than 4 players as hunters, some players play multiple hunters. Dracula takes their character sheet and figure and reference map. Dracula also separately shuffles their decks of Dracula combat cards and encounter cards into face-down piles. They then place their location deck, which is ordered numerically face down as well. Do not shuffle this deck. You're gonna want it to be in numerical order. Dracula then draws 5 encounter cards to form their starting hand. Place the game board in the center of the play area with the trail section, those card slots on the right, closest to the Dracula player. Set the influence marker on the 0 space of the influence track and the time marker on Monday day of the time track. Shuffle all of the item cards into a face-down draw deck near the board. Shuffle the Hunter event and Dracula event cards together and place them near the item deck. This is now the event deck. Sort the Hunter combat cards by type and place them in 3 face-up piles. Create a supply of all the game tokens nearby. Take the ticket tokens, flip them all face down, and shuffle them around. Each hunter places their figure on their assigned city on the board. Dracula chooses a starting location as well, but instead of placing their figure on the map, the vampire secretly searches their location cards, which you kept in numerical order, and places the matching card face down on the first space of the trail. Note that during setup, Dracula cannot choose a C-zone, Castle Dracula, or a city occupied by a hunter. Dracula's figure is placed next to the first space of the trail. Now, we are ready to begin. That's a very good Dracula accent. Thank you for noticing. Gameplay for Fury of Dracula occurs over rounds. Each round is divided into a hunter phase followed by a Dracula phase. First up, the hunter phase. These are divided into 4 steps: dawn, day, dusk, and night. First in dawn, players advance the time marker from a night space to a day space. Then each hunter performs one action during the day. At dusk, they advance the time marker from day to night. Then each hunter performs one action during the night. We'll talk more about that time track shortly. During the day, hunters can move around Europe and search for Dracula. During the night, hunters can investigate and prepare for the upcoming day. Players perform actions in numerical order according to the activation order number printed on the upper left of their character sheet. Actions include move, supply, rest, trade, reserve a ticket, search, and special. Additionally, a player may pass instead of taking an action, giving up their action for the turn. Let's look at each of these actions. Move. When using a move action, a hunter may move their figure to a new location by one of several methods. Roads, which allow movement from one city to an adjacent city. Railways, which allow a hunter with a ticket token to spend it and choose one of the 2 values and move that many railways to a new city. And sea. When a hunter is in a port city, they can move to an adjacent sea zone. If a hunter is already in a sea zone, they can move to either an adjacent port or an adjacent sea zone. If the hunter is in a sea zone during the day, they must move. If a hunter is in a sea zone during the night, they must pass. Those seas are too frightening by moonlight. There are monsters in the water. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. Some important distinctions on the map. It has large cities and small cities, some of which may have an anchor icon denoting they are ports, and the bordered lines separate the various sea zones. Supply. If a hunter performs a supply action in a large city, they draw the top card from the item deck and place it in their hand. If a hunter is in a small city, they do not draw an item card. Either way, they then draw an event card. Event cards are drawn differently depending on the timing. During the day, hunters take a card from the top of the event deck. If the card has a hunter icon, the hunter draws the card and places it in their hand. If the card has a Dracula icon, the card is placed face down in the discard pile. Dracula can't act during the day, it's dangerous for him. Now during the night, hunters take a card from the bottom of the deck. If the event card has a hunter icon, the hunter places it in their hand. If the card has a Dracula icon, Dracula takes the card and places it into his hand. After a player draws an event card, they must then check to see if it should be played immediately. If so, play it immediately. Rest. When hunters perform a rest action, they return one of their damage tokens back to the supply. We'll talk more about damage when we discuss combat. Trade. When hunters perform a trade action, they choose another hunter in the same city. The hunters can show each other their item cards and ticket tokens and trade any of those components between each other. Reserve a ticket. The hunter takes a ticket token from the token pool, looking at it before placing it in their play area. Each hunter can have no more than 2 ticket tokens. Search. Dracula has the ability to hide encounter cards at locations he's visited. Hunters can use the search action to reveal and interact with these cards. We'll come back to this section once we learn more about Dracula's actions. Special. Hunters perform a special action to resolve either an effect from a card in their hand or an ability from their character sheet. And that's the hunter's actions. After all hunters have finished performing their night action, the Dracula phase begins. During each Dracula phase, Dracula moves and then places an encounter card at his new location. Dracula cannot pass. When moving, Dracula can only move by road or sea. No train tickets for old Vlad. Instead of moving his figure on the board like hunters, Dracula tracks his movement by placing location cards face down on the trail. Dracula's location deck has 1 card for each location on the board, as well as Castle Dracula. Let's look at the trail. The trail represents the locations where Dracula travels. He covertly tracks his movement and places encounter cards, which allow him to create vampires and hinder the hunter's progress. The first space on the trail corresponds to Dracula's current location. It's also where Dracula places location and encounter cards during the Dracula phase. Unless Dracula is revealed, his figure occupies the circle above the first space of the trail. Each space of the trail contains one of Dracula's hideouts. A hideout comprises all cards and tokens on one of the trail's spaces, generally a location card with an encounter card. During each Dracula phase, before Dracula chooses a location card, all hideouts on the trail slide to create space for Dracula's new chosen card. To move, Dracula slides all cards already on the trail 1 space to the right. Then he secretly chooses 1 card from the location deck and places the selected card face down on the first space of the trail. The location on the card he chooses must be adjacent to his current location. Note that sea location cards have a different card back from city location cards. This alerts the hunters to Dracula's possible movement options. Additionally, each time Dracula moves to a sea zone, he takes damage. 2 if moving from a port to a sea zone. Only 1 if moving from sea zone to sea zone. If Dracula moves to a city that a hunter occupies, Dracula is revealed, and the location card is turned face up. This can also occur if a hunter ends their movement on a city where Dracula is located. When Dracula is revealed, the city card corresponding to his current location is turned face up and his figure is placed on the board on that city. Then a combat occurs during the next dawn or dusk. More on combat shortly. After Dracula moves, he chooses an encounter card from his hand and places it face down on the location card of the first space of the trail. However, if Dracula placed a sea location or Castle Dracula on the trail this turn, or if he is currently revealed, he cannot place an encounter card. Encounter cards allow Dracula to impede the hunters by laying traps and creating vampires. If Dracula ever has fewer than 5 encounter cards in his hand, he draws up to the 5-card limit. And that's the basic turn structure. The game continues with a new round, starting with a hunter phase. Now that we understand the rounds, let's look at some of the other important mechanics of the game. The time track. Each day and night space has a day of the week. When the time tracker advances from Sunday night to Monday day, a week has passed. To indicate this, players place a despair token on one of the 3 spaces in the center of the time track. You can remember this because of the despair you feel whenever Sunday turns into Monday. In addition to other game effects, Dracula's The Fury of Dracula ability triggers after all 3 despair tokens are placed on the board. Combat. Remember, this occurs if a hunter is on the same city as Dracula at dawn or dusk. Before combat begins, the hunter takes 1 each of the dodge, punch, and escape cards from the hunter combat card piles and adds them to their hand of item cards. These cards do not count toward their hand limit. Then, Dracula shuffles his combat deck and draws 5 combat cards from it to use during the combat. Each player chooses 1 card from their hand and places it face down. The hunter must choose one of their cards that has a banner. This includes item cards with a red banner or combat cards with a yellow banner. Once placed, both players simultaneously reveal their chosen cards. The players check if the combat icon on Dracula's card matches a highlighted combat icon on the banner of the hunter's card. If it does, the effect on Dracula's revealed combat card is canceled. Dracula then flips that card face down, and it remains in the play area until combat ends. If Dracula's revealed combat card was not canceled, Dracula resolves the effect and then flips it face down, where it remains until combat ends. The hunter then resolves the effect of their card, and it remains in the play area as well. If Dracula has fewer than 5 cards in his hand, Dracula draws the top card of the Dracula combat deck. During each subsequent round, the combat card the hunter played during the previous round is returned to their hand. Players continue resolving combat rounds until combat ends in one of the following ways. Dracula has played 6 combat cards. All hunters involved in the combat are bitten, defeated, or have escaped. Or Dracula satisfies the condition of his pride ability and plays and resolves escape is bat or escape is missed. After combat ends, each hunter in the combat places their hunter combat cards back in their respective piles, and Dracula shuffles all Dracula combat cards into his deck. If he escapes, his figure is placed back in the circle above the first space on the trail. Gameplay continues, with hunters roaming the map and gathering strength, and Dracula creating vampires and thwarting their hunt. If Dracula can advance the influence track to space 13, he immediately wins the game. Otherwise, if the hunters can reduce Dracula to 0 health, they defeat the vampire and they win the game. And that's just the basics of Fury of Dracula. The rulebook contains special info on events and item cards, as well as options for advanced rules, faster gameplay variants, and more. But for now, you're ready to play. Have fun.